All right. Yeah, we'll do introductions, and then for both the characters and ourselves, and then get caught up what's going on, and look how we're going to introduce Spine into the Virtuosos. I'm Michael Matthews. I'll be GMing the Spectaculars. I my pronouns are he and him. This is, as always, a Gauntlet game, so there's the Gauntlet inclusivity policy. Uh, X card is always in effect. You can do that in the window, or if you type an X into the chat in Roll20, it gives us the beep. So that's easier to see before. Um, uh, that's easier to see before the Zoom thing doesn't always show up. We'll go over lines and veils once we've introduced everybody. Do we want to start with Stephen? You want to introduce yourself and Spine?
Hi, I'm Steven, he, him pronouns. I am playing Spine. That's S-P-Y with an umlaut W-N. He's a Celtic heavy metal rocker who got superpowers as part of the military experimental program. He's got electricity manipulation, flight, super tough. But I mean, he tended to break a lot of equipment while he was in the military, so they kicked him out early. He's the teenage superhero archetype, and he tends to be very interested in publicity. His real goal is to become a star, and he sees being a superhero is a good way to go about that.
Excellent. And Alexi?
Hey, Alexi Sargent, he, him. Follow all my gaming endeavors online at Cloven Pine Games. That's at Cloven Pine Games on Twitter and Cloven Pine Games on my itch.io store. I'm in this game of Spectaculars. I am playing Thea Zhang, aka Thunderclap. She is the inventor and hacker who found herself a pair of ambi-gloves, alien gauntlets with a vast array of power options, only some of which she has successfully unlocked as she's messed around with them. But she is confident she will be able to fully control these ambi-gloves and fulfill her lifelong dream of punching through the walls of reality to get to another dimension. Her turmoil is that one of her good hacker friends, who goes by the call sign Answer, spelled 4N5W3R, thinks that the agency is corrupt and oppressive. That's the agency that deals with all superpowered phenomena, which has recently entered into a partnership with the Spectaculars, the team that Thunderclap is on and occasionally leads. So she's still figuring that out. She doesn't think there's any merit to these suspicions, but she's willing to do a little bit of digging, if only to set Answer's mind at rest.
All right, and John and Tardigrade. Oh, you're muted.
John, you're muted, so we can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I clicked the button, it didn't go. Okay, so I'm John. Hi, how you doing? You can follow me on Twitter if you want to at JM Campbell, but mostly it's just retweeting and liking things, so not a whole lot there. But I am playing Floyd Richmond, Tardigrade. He is a genius scientist, and he knows he's better than you. And he has built a suit that is designed to survive any type of environment. So it has super senses, super toughness, telekinesis, so he doesn't even have to touch things if he doesn't want to. He basically designed the suit as a survival unit and is using it to be a hero because it's good for PR purposes.
Cool. And we can go over this real quick. Does everyone have the Gauntlet game information Google Sheet available? Lots of info and such on there, including the lines and veils that we've come up with so far. I want to make sure these are okay with folks. If there's stuff that we want to add, do whatever. Sexual violence, and these are the lines. Sexual violence and coercion, things like mind control, Don't glorify the racist metaphors inherent in the premise. Peril to pregnant women and infants, death or suffering of parental figures. And as far as veils, we looked at torture, genocide, general gratuitousness, which is sort of a thing, like the going over the line just for shock effect. Not something I tend to do. Harm to animals, explicit descriptions of injury or medical treatment, and no choking noises have been brought up. Is there anything, or you can feel free to add anything to those, or if we want to make anything more explicit?
All sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm fine with them as they are.
Okay. Oh, looks like we are good. So I think beyond that, yeah. So the public reputation, the Virtuosos did get a little bit of bump from last time. Do we want Alexi and or John? Do you want to give a recap? Oh wait, no, John was not here last time. Alexi, do you want to give a recap of what you remember, and I can fill in as necessary?
Yeah, absolutely. We picked up with a number of spectaculars pursuing their own objectives. Chaim Weinblatt, aka Your Bud Made of Mud, the golem, was continuing to try to feed the hungry and repair the world by extorting food from Italian restaurant owners, and then like setting various people up on dates, including bringing about a romantic connection between the restaurateur and the lady who runs the children's home that he was trying to keep fed. The children's home lady has a sister who's a local politician who ended up getting set up on a blind date with our powered armor pilot, Magnetar, which is when Magnetar discovered his heads-up display from his suit kind of leaching into his out-of-suit vision, suggesting the as yet unexplained neurological effects of flying around in this experimental suit. So he's just dealing with that. And Thunderclap's kind of character scene was just trying again to punch through the walls of reality like she always does. She kind of projected an image of a teacher who'd once told her that she was too unfocused to live up to her potential, and she was going to just punch this image in the air to try to break through the barriers of this dimension. And instead, she seemed to astrally project back in time and see herself back in that classroom, which was confusing to her as all get out. And when she came to, she realized she was being spied upon by a lady sticking out of a magic portal. Didn't manage to get to ask her any questions, though, but it seems like this woman, Alicia Bennett, who's been darting around in the background of all this stuff and appears to understand some of these magic sigils. And then our main mission was we were called in by the cops to deal with some superpowered mercenaries taking over a government building. And after we dealt with them, we realized that their objective was to use a number of sigil-covered devices to turn the whole building into a portal to a dimension of entropy and chaos, which sure seems like a bad idea. We don't know if they understood exactly what they were doing, but we were able to examine the sigils and figure out what their actions would cause. So I think that's what we had at the end of the last session.
Yeah, I did that fairly well. Yeah, that's most of the stuff that I remember too. The rest of it, some of the more little personal stuff that had happened. But overall, they find out that this thing where they've seen a couple of these sigils and such before. We got to talk about bringing spine into things. So the Virtuosos are currently working with the government, trying to be essentially like the face of the Niners. To kind of there's a bit of social media slickness is a part of what they're looking for, and then probably less social media or like the advertisement, like PR, being the PR. So here we've got Spine, who has worked with the muster ups before and has actually encountered Alicia Bennett. Any ideas or ways you see of bringing yourself in, or do you want to go over some stuff?
Yeah, I would say Spine has been out of town for a while. He was he's been telling people that it was a 12-city tour. He made lots of great contacts. Is going to lead to big things. was actually a roadie. He hasn't been telling people that part. He was this roadie for an all-girl K-pop band, and but yeah, he did talk to a lot of people who were very polite, and I'm sure they'll all be very helpful to him later on. And I think once he got back into town, he was pestering Jacob DeCastro, his police contact, because I mean he wants to get involved in stuff now, and I think DeCastro probably put me in touch with the Virtuosos just in order to get rid of me, so I'd stop pestering him. How does that sound?
Sounds fairly good. What do you think, Alexi and John?
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I tell you what, do we want to make that you talking to Jacob your aspiration / turmoil scene? Fine.
Sure.
Okay, because we'll start off with those for. I would say Lexi and John, if you got something you want to explore with the aspiration of turmoil, let me know. Otherwise, I can come up with something. So you have come back from your tour, and the muster ups are kind of keeping their head fairly low. You do know that Abrasarse has done some work with the Virtuosos, who have had like a decent amount of press lately, and actually some pretty good press. They seem to be working with the police.
Um, do you remember what rank DeCastro was?
Did I? I did not put a rank. What would be a decent rank for? We just put police representative.
All right. Well, I'm just going to call him an inspector, whether that's the right rank or not.
Okay. We'll make him an inspector. Hunt him down? Are you calling him or what?
Oh, I think I'm stopping by. I'm stopping by headquarters, and it's like I've got some some stuff I picked up in Denver. I mean, I assume I assume edibles are I think they go in both Denver and San Francisco. So I'm bringing him a gift of some edibles. And it's like I just show up at headquarters and ask for Inspector DeCastro.
Okay, so doing a real quick thing.
Like I show him I show them the card he gave me a couple months ago. Go and say I wanted to talk to him.
Yeah, it looks like it is. Oh yeah, Alex, I'll get that for you. It is legal in California. It looks like cannot consume or possess cannabis on federal lands such as national parks. I think you'd probably be good on the thing. So you go in the headquarters. You've got people running around there, kind of doing their usual. And in one of the that sort of open office thing, one of the desks, you see Jacob DeCastro sitting there working on some stuff.
Hi, Inspector. It's great to see. Great to see. Yeah. I mean, I've been out of town. I know you missed me. I wanted to come to you first thing that I was back here. I brought you some brownies.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Spine. Yeah, I missed you. It's been quiet lately. Like your friends have been most of your friends have been kind of keeping their heads down. Things have been kind of quiet in the Niner.
Yeah, well, I mean, quiet is good. Quiet, real good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good from a publicity point of view, but yeah, I mean, don't eat too many of those at once. There.
Are these pop brownies?
Yeah, I got them in Denver.
Were they labeled or anything, or were they just like a little tin of brownies or something?
It's like I got a little white paper bag.
Okay. Yeah, and so he just kind of sits it down. It's like, I'm working right now.
Oh yeah. You should eat those take those after work. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So what brought? I'm trying to remember if you'd said before about what had brought you here.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, things are quiet, and I mean, I just thought I wanted to be helpful, and I figure you would know what. I mean, I'm like some sort of political. I'm just sort of some sort of official like police deputy or something or informant. I don't know what you call it. I mean, whatever Batman is.
Hey, okay. First of all, Batman's not real. Second of all, I think I deputized you briefly to help out. In actually, so do me a favor. Go ahead, roll and add uh two advantage dice, and part of this will be how he presents you to the rest of the group. Um, there's almost something that could be a distract someone with the way you tend to, or maybe size someone up. Yeah, you're good. Um, okay, so I'll give you two things. I'm gonna deal you a continuity token. That stuff went well for you. Now, uh, and since you got a thing, I'm gonna throw another hero point by your sheet. So the continuity tokens are there for if at some point you want to make something retcon something or do a flashback or something to help out. Kind of the older comics, you can go ahead and say I use my continuity token, and those are good for like new information. They can give advantage or disadvantage dice. They can open up some things that might not have been there before. So yeah, so those basically allow you to do more to essentially add truths to the world. I've thrown another hero point for your down there. He just looks at you. He's like, okay, you know magic stuff, right? Is your stuff magic? You just into it. You were helpful with Alicia Bennett.
Like I've read books. I mean, my powers are. I mean, that's sort of part of my act. Like I know stuff about Celtic folklore.
That might be useful here. And he kind of pulls up a thing and sets it down and goes. It's like a file. So Alicia Bennett's shown up a few more times. And right now it seems to have been tied in with something with the virtuosos. You might actually be not a bad person to help out there. Would you, if I introduce you to them, would you be cool?
I'm always cool.
Let me repeat that. Am I going to regret if I introduce you to the virtuosos?
When have you ever regretted working with me?
Okay, come with me. Just
I'm not
remember,
going to let you down, Inspector.
I would like that to be true. Okay, I'm going to believe it because I'm having a good day. Plus, we're kind of stuck. So, you want to come with me? Let's go to the Virtuosos veranda. You can meet up with them. They might use some help, particularly if you know more about.
I mean, I can fly you over there if you want, Inspector. I mean,
We could drive.
sure, we could do that too.
Or if you want to meet me there, that's fine too.
No, I mean, I'm cool. I've never been in the front seat of a police car before.
How often have you been in the backseat of one?
Well, I mean, when I was a kid.
When you were a kid. Okay, great. So
There's nothing on my permanent record.
he kind of grabs his stuff. On the way out the door, he's kind of like, "So how long did your permanent record sort of go away anyway?"
Oh, it's like after 2 years, you can apply to have these things taken off.
All right. Hope that this works. Okay. And we'll cut to Alexi's going into the agency tech lab, and then we'll, John, if you have an idea for what you want for your turmoil or aspiration scene. Also, Stephen, if you want to on your character sheet, if you want to mark the last one, you get this. You've gone through 4 of them. Put an X where that story reward is. You can grab a story reward in the book, the game rule book. These start on page 24. You want to take a look through those, and there's probably a pretty decent chance. Okay, I guess if he succeeds on this one. Okay. So Alexi, what are you looking for in the agencies that you're breaking into?
Yeah, I was thinking I might try to bluff my way into an agency tech lab, since Thunderclap's turmoil is that she thinks the agency is something that the Virtuosos can work with, but her hacker friend Answer is suspicious of them. So just to allay Answer's suspicions, really, right? Just to set Answer's mind at ease. Do a little snooping around. Just double check that there's no kind of substance to this worry that the agency is a shady group that can't be trusted and is deliberately creating Niners, as a disposable superpowered labor class.
That seems unlikely.
Yeah, no, surely not, right? But yeah, I where is there like kind of a known place or a place that we, the Virtuosos, now know of where the agency has some of its keeps some of its tech holdings, basically?
Yeah, I believe we had. Let me check through here. Oh, did we not come up with an actual? So we can come up. We had the cornerstones, the governmental building, which is 7-story. I'll make a note. Damaged.
That's where we thwarted those mercenaries last time.
I think for the agency itself, let me take a quick look on the other page. I don't think we came up with a name for it, but we may have actually had some information about the agency's agency itself. Or I think it may have just mostly been on the agency chief, it looks like. So, yep, most we have is just on the agency chief by itself, and it looks like none of the. Yeah, we have the super science lab, but that is separate from the agency. So, the here. Is there anything in particular they call the agency headquarters, or do we want to make it in a special place?
Maybe it's out at sea, right? Like an aquatic complex or something.
Okay. So a little bit harder to get to. Possibly sharing the bay with Alcatraz.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe it's called Station Z, or at least that's a nickname, since we know Mr. Z, right? That's the shadowy man's kind of nickname as well. So Station Z could be where the agency hangs out, or one of their base that's near the city, right?
Yep. So yeah, so you travel there. There's kind of an old guy at the desk, the sort of bored looking security guard. Not a lot of people come through. Sort of looks up. Are you dressed up in your stuff, or are you?
Yeah,
or are you
probably.
trying to sneak in?
No, I'm trying to bluff my way in. So I'm probably wearing my my most super suit, right? I got the amber gloves. I've got my fancy jacket. I've got a like made up Virtuosos badge, right? Which has not like existed before, but I like 3D printed one and stuck it on my super suit to make it look more official.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, greetings. I was supposed to swing on by and pick something up from Derek Wynn that he left for me to look at. Where can I find his office?
Derek Wynn, you're Thunderclap, right?
That's the one and only. Well, there were two of me the other day, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, from the Virtuosos, here to help deal with all your super science shenanigans.
The first virtuoso to actually show up here, it's kind of like looking through some stuff on a sheet and then on the computer. Kind of hoping it would be the princess first, but you know, I mean,
everybody is, but you're stuck with me for now.
I'm not seeing you on the list as people for today.
I'm sure it's just an oversight. You know how it is. Sometimes something gets something just falls through the cracks. But I think we should expedite this because there could be some foul supervillainy afoot that needs to be thwarted with the combined perspicacity of the agency and the virtuosos.
Make your roll to lie to someone and go ahead and add I would say 2 complication and 2 advantage dice, because on the one hand you're coming in like this like virtuoso thing, on the other hand you're not on the list.
Legit, I'll add those in. Ooh, that's not good because let's see. I rolled a 90. My lie to someone's at 80. I do have 2 boons and a drawback.
We use one like technically you're not supposed to use hero points on these ones, but we can use one of those boons to raise it up by 10%. So it would take your 80% skill to a 90%.
Okay.
Since there's 1 boon left over.
Yeah. Then let's do that.
Okay.
Did you say that costs a hero point, or that's
no?
That only costs...
You're technically not. I think you're technically not supposed to use hero points during these scenes, but that extra boon allows you to.
Okay, cool.
Because it canceled out. It goes, well, listen, I'm not seeing on the list, but I know things happen. So he kind of gives you like a visitor's badge, and he goes, okay, so straight through there, over here, and then kind of gives you like how to get to Wynn's office.
Thank you very much for your service, sir. I will head on through just like whistling and like kind of spinning the badge around my finger and just like being very comfortable in an ostentatious way so that no one questions my presence here.
And you're trying to like find a place to look into some computers or something, or
yeah, well, I'm just if Wynn's office has some computers that have access behind the agency firewalls, that might be where I try to glean some knowledge.
Well, Wynn right now is in his office, though. You see some other places you might be able to like sneak in where there's nobody in the office. All
right, yeah. I clocked that Wynn's in his office, and I kind of slink into the nearest kind of empty kind of tech looking place I can find where I might have a spot to jack into the system.
Okay, and you just there to like just pull a bunch of information so you can kind of check stuff later.
Yeah, why not? Okay. Do some info grabbing.
Yep. Yeah, you go some info grab, like a quick kind of glance through it. This is stuff you'll be able to look through more a little bit later. One thing you do find is there is a bunch of you see so basically some folders, some other stuff that are kind of labeled like alien threat, magic. There's like a big thing on Alicia Bennett. You also do find some files on all of you, as well as that's sort of set aside from the standard other like basically listed information about all of the other Niners in the country. I'll
like run a script to just harvest everything they've got on superpowered people, right? So that I can like at my leisure check out what they've got on file about us and what they've got on file about the Niners broadly.
Okay, if you want to make a note that you've got that, that's something we can kind of explore a bit. We can explore some more later.
Yeah, absolutely.
And tardigrade, you have an idea as far as your aspiration of turmoil? Something you wanted to explore?
My turmoil is about connecting with people. So I was thinking he's trying to like prepare for a TED Talk type thing or something. And he's kind of going through and whoever he can grab, whoever's in the area, he's like, okay, so I was thinking about a joke. It says, I was trying to simplify my thoughts, but I couldn't find crayons to write them for you. Does that work? As
So the TED. So Arthur Burton. A note of him. TED Talks. The odd thing is I had a Smallville summer campaign that ended with them defeating the person at a TED Talk, and a leverage game at a con where the same thing ended up happening, where they decided to like basically reveal all this stuff at a TED Talk. Yeah, so Arthur Burton kind of like looks over at you, and goes, first thing, did he call you tardigrade or Floyd?
Floyd would be fine.
First thing, Floyd, you don't want to antagonize your audience at the very beginning. I mean, if you come out saying that they're too dumb to understand anything you're going to do, they're not going to. I mean, you're going to get very little as far as hits. Most people are probably going to actually disengage relatively quickly because the long term effect is not just the people at the conference because they're a captive audience essentially. They're not going to walk out no matter. I mean, you got to go pretty hard to it. The real audience that sees the people online.
But I'm a superhero. They're going to want to know about me, right?
Sometimes, in order to like make yourself more palatable, you do something self-deprecating. If you just come up and say, "Hey, I'm better than all of you," people aren't necessarily going to connect with you.
All right. Let's see. I had so much trouble getting here today. I almost had to use my car.
So I was like, go ahead, make a roll. Go ahead, add one advantage and two disadvantage. I think this kind of seems like your anything else score because the
Sure.
working with people is not your thing. And then Alexi, did you mark a experience for succeeding on yours?
Let me go ahead and do that.
All right. He kind of takes a look back for a moment and goes, I think we can make that work. Because it's accentuating the fact that you're a superhero. And I think your thing fly. You use like telekinesis too. Yeah, the fact that you're a superhero, it's one of those things that I think that's better. So he sits there and starts sort of working with you. You want to have your TED Talk later? Because we might actually be able to work that into a story thing on another session. Or do you just want to have it something that we hand wave that happens now?
Just, we can hand wave it.
Okay. Yeah, so when you go out and give your TED Talk, what is your TED Talk about?
About operating in high pressure environments.
And as you're sort of going out, now remember the jokes about actual high pressure environments are not going to hit as well as talking about the stuff people deal with on an everyday basis. Feel good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Got this. Just remember, you're a hero. You're not better than other people, but you're just different than them, and you have an insight that they don't.
Sure. Yes. Not better, just different in a better way.
Most important thing is relax. Feel yourself get tense. Sometimes the whole thing just crumbles, so just relax. you feel yourself starting to get tense. It's that easy. You go out and deliver your TED talk, and things they go actually pretty well. Go ahead and also give yourself a one XP, and then we will get to.
That's a story reward, or
Once you get to 4, it's on that thing 2 story rewards.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and incidentally, for my story reward, I'm going to give myself a new supernaturally based power, but I want to wait until I actually encounter something supernatural that triggers the change.
Would you like me to deal you some cards from the
I
supernatural?
already drew some cards.
Oh, did you want some though from the supernatural one?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because these are the more Avengers style ones. It could be fun to do.
Yes, that sounds good.
Because when I was looking through, like the Eldritch Mystery powers are really different than the other ones.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. How do I get rid of these cards?
I can do a callback. Recall in player's hands. Boom. And there is. Oh shoot! I grabbed the one. Wait, John, did you? Not John. Alexa, did you keep yours in your hand? Or did you have it on the table?
I put it on the table.
Oh, good. Okay, that should not have come.
Yeah, it represents the top card of the deck being flipped over.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Steven, let me know if you want me to deal those to you, or if you're dealing the Eldritch Mystery powers.
You can deal them to me.
Okay. Yeah, these ones are kind of neat. When I was looking through, the feel is a lot different. I think they've done a pretty decent job of making each of the different things feel different. There you go. So why don't we have also we can have Spine meet in with the Virtuosos.
Yeah. So would we decide Spine and Inspector?
Yep.
Inspector Jacob, Inspector Jacob Castro are driving over to Virtuoso Veranda.
Yep. At this point, like there people have been doing some investigation, trying to figure out what's going on with the, just get the information to see if they can find out who these guys were working with, and rather, is there something else coming? But as y'all are kind of going about your day, you're given a thing through one of the people that works there. It's like, yeah, we've got a Inspector De Castro and Spine here to see you.
Thank you, Miriam. Let's see what the good inspector has brought to our doorstep.
Castro, when you meet them, you want to describe what you look like, Spine?
Yeah, I'm wearing like these tattered Celtic robes. Supposed to look like I'm a druid or something. It looks a little like that. It looks a little like I may be homeless. Who knows? I mean, when I'm on stage, I also have this big helmet with these huge antlers, but I'm not wearing that right now because, I mean, you can't really fit into a car with something like that. I mostly only wear that when I'm on stage or when I'm trying to really make an impression. Not really practical for daily superhero activities.
Good to see you, Inspector. And I see you've brought a Renaissance Fair reject for us to interrogate.
I'm actually a musician. This is my stage outfit. It's also my superhero outfit.
He just goes, kid, there's a lot of musicians at Renaissance fairs look a lot like you. No, this is Spine. He was part of the muster-ups. He was involved with Alicia Bennett, with her capture.
Oh, you must know Abrasarze.
Yeah, we met once.
Yeah, he's kind of a weird dude, huh? Listen, Bennett's become a bit of a recurring thorn in our side. So if there's anything you can tell us about her, that might be helpful for us virtuosos. And is tardigrade here too? I think Thunderclap definitely like takes the lead on talking, but if she's speaking for the virtuosos, she'll look to another virtuoso to back her up.
Yeah, sure. I'll be there, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, there were all these weird symbols written on things when we were involved with her, and
did they look like these? And I like, rather than write them on the whiteboard, since your Bud Made of Mud told me that was a dangerous thing to do, I like just snap my fingers and holograph project the images of the sigils that we've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean it's really weird. I was looking them up in books, and it didn't look like they made any sense at all. But we think we thought they might have been supernatural.
That tracks. Our friend who's a golem alchemist has been around for centuries, thinks they're possibly ways of channeling energy from dimensions as yet undreamed of by science.
Cool. And I saw a movie about stuff like that once.
Which one?
I mean, I don't remember the name, but there were like goblins and wizards and stuff.
You see, Thunderclap writing down, untitled goblin wizard movie on like a little sheet like that has like magic research written across the top, and she's like, fascinating.
I mean, anyway, I've been out of town for a while, and I'm really eager to get back into like the swing of things. And I've been told that you're really active and doing stuff. So like I'm really excited to work with you guys.
Yeah, we beat an egg.
Cool.
It was an evil metal egg.
Yeah, I mean our team, we helped some people out of a burning building.
Nice. We helped a building that was going to be turned into a portal to a dimension of pure entropy and chaos.
Of course, it's the firefighters who are the real heroes.
Yeah, but I don't know if they could have stopped a building being turned into a portal to a dimension of pure entropy and chaos, to be quite honest.
Probably not.
Yeah, but that's what makes them real heroes. They don't have powers like the rest of us, but they still step up and they do what they can.
Kid, it's okay. We don't have cameras on here. You don't need to be issuing public service announcements.
Yeah, but it's good to stay in practice. It's like you stay in character all the time, and then you never slip when there are cameras around.
And trust me, I
read that in a book once. It's just stay professional at all times.
And then the inspector just goes, "This kid's gift is screwing up when cameras are around." Okay, I figured he might know some stuff that could help. I know you're trying to figure out what their plans are, what they're going to be doing next. He's got, I thought, at least some ideas of what's going on.
Why don't you hang around here? If my calculations are correct, a seemingly random sigil-related event will strike soon enough that we'll be able to spring into action.
Okay, I am ready.
Pull up the like charts that I've been compiling of like, how frequently seemingly random sigil-related stuff has been happening in the city, and I'm like, as you can see, it's not random at all, but follows a precise cycle. There are some epicycles in there too, right? But nothing that a little bit of extra dimensional calculus can't handle.
Okay, so it's like epicycles. Is that like a vehicle? Like
Thunderclap kind of massages her temples. She's like,
our enemies are flying around in these epicycles.
No, think like day-night cycle. Day turns into night as a cycle. They've been appearing as part of a cycle.
Thanks, Tardigrade. You're so good at explaining these things.
Yes.
Okay, knights on bicycles. I can work with this.
Okay,
Yes.
so are you doing any kind of searching or research or trying to be proactive for it, or are you waiting for the thing to pop up?
I can be proactive. I've got a research ability here.
And this would be for anybody too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I use the data set that he has to invent something that'll predict the timing of the next event?
Hey, you can try on that.
All right. Any advantage or?
I give yourself one disadvantage because it's unusual information, kind of stuff you're trying to put together, but two from the data that you put together. Two advantage dice.
Okay. Oh.
Remember, roll under is
Yeah.
good. Oh,
No.
yep. Yeah, as you're sort of looking through and like you can't make heads or tails as you're searching through trying to figure out like what's actually like what might be a thing to look for in all this info.
You can't just write off all of these as outliers. When they have that many, they have to be part of the data set. They've officially skewed your curve. I can't work with this. You need to revise it.
All right. Leave it to Thunderclap. I see how it is. If it's legit for me to roll research something just to see if I can gain any further insight into the into predicting, right, where the magical operatives we're tracking might emerge next, right?
Okay. Well, since we had just had the one roll for it,
Yeah.
do the thing. But however, this is sort of a good time for because there's also little things I mark off as those things are going. Spine, you get a call.
Yeah. Is it from a number I recognize?
Yeah, it's De Castro.
Yeah. I turn on my phone and put it on speaker. De Castro, what do you got for us?
We got a blip at the power plant as far as like a 911 call that quickly got cut off. Tried to make some phone calls. We're not getting anything when we did. It seems a little bit suspicious. We've got people on our way out there to check it out, but considering what you told us and what we heard from the super lab, there's some sort of radiation involved. We put a flag on anything that kind of dealt with radiation.
It's the same power plant that got affected by the scrap at the Cornerstone.
No, that was a smaller power station. This is the nuclear power plant outside of town.
Oh, well, that's something, all right.
Then let's head there immediately. Spine, was it? Do you have a way to travel far distances?
I'm a pretty good flyer, and like I pop up into midair.
All right then, Virtuosos. We're working on this. No. It's got to be Virtuosos. Vertically get on out there and kick some butt.
Wonderful.
We can work on that. Good battle cry, but we can jazz that up a bit.
Yeah. All right.
Virtuosos, virtue. Damn it. All right. This seemed like for about an hour. It's like a good time for a quick bio break, and then we'll come back.
Sounds good.
Good.
Yeah, in fact, as soon as we start up again, I've got an idea for how to introduce my new power.
So everyone ready to sign up for the Gauntlet Con games this afternoon?
Yeah, I've actually got a conflict for basically all of Gothic Con. There's a comedy festival here in DC.
Oh no. I think that happened last year. It was a local convention and Gauntlet Con were at the same weekend.
Yeah, I've got one non-Gauntlet Con game that weekend, which is in the morning. It should be all right, but I'm not going to sign up for anything for Gauntlet Con this year.
What you running for the con? Nice, nice. How do you do dogs online? Oh, from it just drag dice out of Roll20, and yeah, because you kind of need dice on the board for to like see and raise with stuff for dogs. So yeah, cool. Really? Huh. You might be being too nice to players. 'Cause I played dogs once at a con, and it got bloody because we tried to lay out a reasoned argument, and the the person we were speaking to just grabbed their illicit lover and ran out into the storm, and thus we started chasing them, and then gunfire was exchanged, and things ended in a pretty messy way, despite our attempt to be righteous and just. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Right. I'm running a couple games for Gauntlets Con. I am running Dungeon World Rogues of Ravnica, where I've written up a module to play Dungeon World in Ravnica, the city for Magic the Gathering. I'm running Autumn Triduum, my Powered by the Apocalypse game about nuns fighting evil. And I'm also running Masks on the last day of the con. Just Masks for anyone who wants to play the Teen Supers game.
I'm running a bunch at the weekend just before it at a convention, so I decided to not run anything for Gauntlet Con. So I'm going to see what I can sign up for.
Yeah. GauntletCon, it's the 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. Gotcha.
So the power plant itself, on the way there are. Does everybody fly?
I swing around by firing grip energy out of my ambi gloves and then swinging off of that.
Okay, so are you hitting like lights and such on the way on like when you start getting out of town?
Yeah, Spider-Man style, just
Yeah.
swinging from lights and buildings and
Okay.
anything else, and trees, as need be.
Yeah, and when we get close enough to the power plant to see it, I'm going to reach out with my electricity powers to sort of get a sense of what's happening there, whether there's anything abnormal, and I'm going to pick up on these weird supernatural energies. And suddenly there is this enormous flash, and I open up this portal that with the other end at the nuclear power plant, and just interacting with these weird magical energies has changed my powers, and I now have the power to open up portals. And it's like, whoa.
Oh, neat.
What did you just do? I thought you said you just did electricity.
I don't know. I don't. It's weird. Do you see those sparkly threads?
Okay, careful with those. You don't want to end up accidentally falling into a dimension of pure entropy and destruction.
Interesting.
Oh, this is cool. And it's like I'm popping opening these random portals and closing. It's like, I didn't know I could do that, but it's so obvious now. This is neat.
Oh, and to let you know, like for the power, when it's got the thing as your action underneath, you can create portals and use them like in a single turn, however much you want. What that one does, when it puts the time stuff on there, it means that you are creating it so it lasts the whole scene. Because the default is that essentially at the end of the scene, the power expires, and you can use something again. So that's one to make it more of a permanent, at least for the scene. So that's what the difference is as far as using the power stunt. Okay. Yeah. So you're looking inside the power plant now?
We put a portal. Have you put a portal to the inside of the power plant?
That's it's like I try, and there's the portal opens just before. No, I think I need to see it.
All right. Well, may as well test these things out. Magnetar, your suit's designed for extreme environment. You wanna do the honors?
Wrong power. Wrong power armor pilot.
Tardigrade.
Yes.
I'm sorry. All you armored folks look the same to me.
Rude.
But you're pretty sure you'll hold up to the mystical energies of this portal if you fly on through with your suit, right?
Absolutely. Designed to withstand anything.
Yeah. Why didn't you put that to the test?
All right. Open the portal. and they'll fly through.
So are you putting the portal like where you can sense the energy or electricity? Or are you going just where you can see you're closer?
Right. Well, the description of portals is that I have to connect places that I can see. So it's like I can't. For some reason, they don't design nuclear power plants with big picture windows.
You could definitely cut some space as you're seeing it in the distance. You could essentially let him teleport there or let you teleport there.
Right. Right. Yeah, but yeah, it's like I'll open a portal to like the front entrance.
I'll go through.
All right, I'm going to actually change something on your sheet, the Dramatis Personae sheet, real quick, just to make sure that Spine shows up in the future. You now have portals.
Yeah.
Note.
And if it looks like Tardigrade has, survived going through the portal, Thunderclap will follow right afterwards.
Yeah, and I think you can see through the portal, so that you can see that he went through the portal. Okay.
Yeah.
So seeing closer as you're going in, you notice from a distance as a couple of you at least flying up there, and I don't know if Thunderclap's like, "What do you see? Tell me what I'm on the upswing." You can see that there are a number of like large trucks. Looks like maybe old city trucks, like some of those ones that are like. It looks like someone took like a regular pickup truck and hit it with like a growth beam because it's just too big. There's several of those big city trucks that have pulled up right outside the front and are actually like blocking. One of them you actually notice is crushed. Smaller car, kind of underneath it as it hit. The doors are still open on them, and you can see there are a couple. Look like some of the similar mercenaries from last time. Not the same ones.
Oh, these.
But yeah, because
they are bozos again.
Yeah, they are currently in being held. But inside the sort of the as you come in through the front, you can see through the glass on the windows and such. They have a couple people like tied up and like in the chairs behind the desks. They are there with weapons, and chances are others are deeper inside.
And just to check, so I'm getting the right picture here. Did the portal send us through beyond where the trucks are, or in front of the trucks, so that we still have to get past the trucks to get into the plant?
That'll be up to Spine.
All right.
Because that's what you're able to see through the portal when you first kind of pop it open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once we see these mercenaries, I'm gonna pop open a portal so that we can get up close to them and take them by surprise.
Oh, one thing we should do, because it will make a difference, is choose your team role: the support, tactician, booster, leader, striker, artillery, or tank.
I think once again Thunderclap believes she's the leader. As long as the princess is in here.
And those cards are up above. Yeah. Like basically, if you go to like the middle one, then like right up above like the power tardigrades sheet there, you'll see the cards.
I am going to be, I think the tank for as our group is now.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
All right, I'll be the booster.
All right. Okay. So as I said, that was the stuff that you're able to see through the that you're able to see through there. Where do you want to drop a portal at for y'all to show up?
I think if they're mostly facing one direction, then I'll do that. portal that comes in behind them to take as many of them by surprise as possible.
Sounds good. Go ahead. Partly for your aim, as this is new to you. Go ahead and make a roll. Add 2 advantage dice, because this would certainly be a surprise. People aren't necessarily looking for this. And add 1 disadvantage die, just because it's brand new. It's also at range, so that would be another thing. Another reason for advantage. Yeah, I would go ahead and do that to make the portal. And that will not, like at this point, we're not in the action stuff yet. At least as far as, like, initiative, because y'all are definitely going to have to drop on someone. Unless this one goes particularly bad.
Sorry, how many challenge dice was that again?
Oh, 1 challenge dice.
Okay.
All right, and I think, what, 60% is what you have on that one? That power?
Whatever the third power is.
I believe is, 60. Yep, just, so you, you're able to aim it. You said you wanted to appear behind them?
Right.
All right, y'all are in a good place to go through. You got, let's say, 2 guards that are up there that have these people underneath. And you see one of them's just like, yeah, we're keeping a lookout. So far, nothing. And so either Tardigrade or Thunderclap, if you want to go through before Fine does.
I will. Tardigrade will go on through.
You go through. You're basically in that sort of main foyer as people come in. As I said, that's there. Do you do something as you're coming in?
Yeah, I'll please let us not have to beat you all up again. Just put down your weapons and we can be fine.
All right, so go ahead and make a roll, because you can do mental attacks as well, which basically a mental attack is just a non-physical sort of action. I would go ahead and add, we'll say 2 disadvantage dice, because you have appeared, or 2 advantage dice, because you have appeared out of nowhere. 1 disadvantage because they are possibly expecting you to come. All right, basically.
11.
Yeah, as you do that, one of them just turns around and goes, shit, throws the gun down and starts to run out the door. The other one's like, what are you doing? Then Thunderclap, are you coming through?
Yeah, I'm coming through, and as I do, I'll go ahead and say, just got the weather report, boys. Says cloudy with a chance of the Virtuosos kicking all of your butts. And I will clap my hands and activate the weather control power that I've just unlocked on my Omni device. I think, like, the first thing is, as soon as I clap, there's a roll of thunder.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think, like, probably like just the temperature drops, right? And kind of a little like snow and hail starts swirling around, and I'm kind of hoping that this, like, weather effect will really throw these folks off their game.
All right. So I would when you make your
target
roll,
them with some cold weather.
you make your roll, go ahead and add 2 advantage dice for the surprise, 2 disadvantage dice, 1 for range, 1 for the innocent people out there.
Fair enough. Ooh, that's a 45, but with a drawback. After 1 point and 1 drawback cancel each other out.
All right, so that is going to take the other minion. Basically, gets, like, you sort of freeze him up, or
yeah, at least he gets kind of like iced over and like shivery, and then like hailstone bonks him on the head.
Yeah, there's the moment, though, like, with a disadvantage. There's the moment, like, during your long thinking about what you're gonna do. He's able to, Virtuosos are here, and then damn it, as he gets hit and just. So it squawks through. The other ones are now, the rest of the people there are now aware that you are there, as he's unconscious, and you've got, like, the 2 guys on there. Spine, you come through?
Yeah. And I think when I see that they're using these communication devices, I'm going to try to use my electricity manipulation powers to disrupt their communicators.
Okay, go ahead and make the roll. Add, we'll go one disadvantage, two advantage dice. Probably use one to connect to the other ones, and then.
Okay, that's a 9 with 2 boons and 1 drawback.
All right, yeah. So I'll say. So at this point, not only do you, when you do it, well, what the boon will be for, you shorted out their communication system. You are, however, aware that looks like there are about 8 mercs, which it's basically a minion size of 4 left. And there is one other person who's deeper in the plant and actually like fairly close to the core. You got an idea for sort of where people are at in the building itself, and
yeah, and I'll tell them there's someone inside. I think he's going for the core.
let me clear the list because other stuff. Duplicate tardigrade was on there.
Duplicate thunderclap, you mean?
Oh yeah, duplicate thunderclap from last time.
Yeah, she's not around this time. Too bad.
Okay, so Alicia Bennett takes her first one to go ahead, and she's working on seizing control back in there. And tardigrade.
There's still a few left, right?
Yeah, so they're deeper. They're deeper in the power plant itself. Like where you're at right here, you've got the people that are tied up. That are tied up here. You've also got. You can kind of see further through the doors where other people have been taken.
Okay. Is there any kind of like klaxon or alarm that like nuclear meltdown or anything like that?
Nothing as of yet.
Okay. I'm gonna take the people that are tied up and how many are there? Like,
there's 2 of them. There's 2 of them here.
Just 2. Okay. Yeah, I'll just untie them and tell them to quickly get out.
Okay. Go ahead, grab a hero point for that, and you have you basically advanced that complication by 1. There's 1 more essentially point worth of power plant employees that are a little bit further in. Remember, every time you take a complication and advance it, you get a hero point. Okay, so Alicia Bennett's doing something further back in. She's not able to advance a thing more than once on a turn. Thunderclap.
Does Bennett, just making sure I'm tracking this here, Bennett has 2 slots in initiative because she's the boss?
Yeah, she's got 3. Generally what happens is the major villain will have 1 for each hero.
I see.
Partly so it's not like, I attack once, hit.
Yeah. All right. Paint me the picture slightly. We came into the kind of the main entrance of the plant. We saw some baddies. We took some out. What's it look like? Are there folks left here, or are there folks just elsewhere in the building that have now been alerted to our presence?
They're elsewhere in the building, have been alerted to your presence. Spine at this point knows though roughly where people are at. They're going in towards the central core.
And Tardigrade has rescued the captives, or the ones, at least the ones that we saw?
The ones that are here.
Yeah. All right. I say, point the way, Renfair Wizard. And if Spine points me towards where he sensed folks going deeper into the plant, I will like sprint. I'll book it in that direction.
Yeah, and I'm absolutely pointing.
Okay.
Do I get close enough to? Sorry, do I get close enough to Bennett or more of her minions to deploy an attack this turn?
Yeah, I'll say as you, especially since you've got range attacks, as you're heading down, there's since they've been alerted, you see two guys with military grade machine guns. They're rushing down towards you.
Yeah.
So you can see them as you start heading down the hall.
Yeah, cool. All right, I'm gonna spend a hero point to use the binding power as an invention. So the idea is basically the invention is a tiny little drone that has two little mini mitts on it that like resemble teensy versions of the ambi gloves, and I fling the drone forwards, and like its little mini mitts project that like grip energy that I use for swinging around, but it's using it to like try to tie these guys up. So I'm spending a hero point to roll binding as a superpower.
Okay, so when you go ahead and add, I think we'll go 2 advantage because that's definitely not a thing that they'd be. They're definitely not probably looking to get like bound up, and then 1 disadvantage because you're.
1 disadvantage because I'm at range.
Yeah, but anytime you're at range, anytime you're in melee, you get a advantage die.
Okay, that's a hit because it's 31 under 80, and a boon and a drawback that I guess cancel each other out.
Yep. And so the 2 of them just get kind of like crushed in together. Their weapons like kind of scattered to the floor. At this point, they seem like they're pretty well stuck. The other mercs they've got are basically setting up in the other room. They're getting themselves ready. Takes us to Spine.
Yeah, and I'm flying into the building, and like I'm using portals to accelerate.
Mm-hmm.
So that I see a corridor. I just open a portal to the end of the corridor. Like I open a portal that's at 90 degrees, so I can turn a corner at speed. And I'm just getting inside as fast as I can.
Okay.
Looking at these guys.
There's that same hallway that that Thunderclap was going down. That you're able to just like shunk, shunk, and you pop out, and like when you head into that room, you can look down. There's like the much larger core. You have a number of you have not seen you may have been shown them by DeCastro, but there are a number of these things like these large floating things that are being attached in or had been attached into the support struts in there with a number of runes on them. Some of the same stuff you saw with Alicia earlier, and Alicia is up on sort of a catwalk, and there's just these like things appearing around her hands as she's looking up at this moment, turning around. It's like she's almost drawing power from it. What do? You've got especially with range stuff. You've moved into that room. The other ones are still not like up close for melee, but I think you've got ranged abilities, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll just launch an electrical blast at Alicia.
Okay. Go ahead and make a roll. Add 1 disadvantage dice for the rain.
I can help here actually. Bear with me, but I flip the top of the deck of powers like I do with my inspiration ability. And the one I pulled here was Companion. You have a sidekick, robotic drone, familiar, or other companion who fights at your side and helps with your heroic duties. So I'd love for this drone that I deployed to stick around and be this helpful companion. And it's got a trigger for when another hero makes an attack, I can put 2 time tokens on it for your companion performs a teamwork maneuver with that hero, adding 2 advantage dice to their roll.
Nice.
On that one though, because I think you have to actually. When are you able to bring up your powers? Anytime or just on your turn?
It says you can spend 1 hero point to use that power as though it was in your superpower slot by describing it as one of your inventions.
Yeah, that works.
All right, so I'm spending another hero point to make the drone stick around as this companion, but then it zooms over, and I don't know how it help. Like, does it help you Spine by boosting you up somehow so you can jump, or is it more that like it like clears the way somehow, with its little like force projecting gloves, pushes something that was going to block your attack out of the way.
And I think it pops up like this holographic targeting image.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's like hovering next to you, and it's like, I see you are targeting. Do you need some help with that? And like the little like map of the area with like your target, flashing in red appears in front of you.
Yeah, and I'm going to use my youthful exuberance also to add 2 advantage dice.
So it's 4 advantage total.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's a 76, and that's my primary superpower, so 80%.
All right. So not only have you hit,
One move with that, no disadvantage.
Okay. Yeah, so the thing is, not only have you hit with that, you have done 76 points of damage, because the nice thing is whatever you roll is the amount of damage you do. They usually have, they said most villains usually have 100 per hero, or basically 100 per initiative card, yeah, as far as health goes. So, you managed to hit her relatively hard. The other thing I'm going to do is, make a note here, use your advantage. I'm going to put 2 disadvantage on the next thing that she does. Yeah, as it strikes, and you're hitting her with what, electrical blast?
Correct.
Yeah, she's kind of holding it. She's trying to block it, but she strikes her and she hits the ground. There's almost even a little bit of smoke, and she just behind her, there's almost this energy seeping from the reactor that hits her in this greenish bolt, and around it you see a number of oops, no, three challenge dice comes flying your way. Oops. Okay, so because she's rolled 3 disadvantages, very bad.
Wow.
By the way, if you ever end up having 4 advantage dice, you get a spotlight scene, and basically things become super awesome for you. Well, hell, let's do that. So she's gonna hit you for 33 as the energy beam just kind of comes to hit you, but at the same time, it almost seems to overload her as the power is coming. So she's gonna take 30 more points of damage. She's now up to 106.
Can I get in the way of that for Spine? Am I close enough that I can be the tank and spend my hero point?
You said you do the yeah. You want to spend the hero point? You can do that.
So I reduce the damage by 30.
All right, you'll take 3 points. Okay.
What color energy is this? So as I'm picturing the comic book panels, what are we seeing?
It's
Bennett shoot here.
It's a greenish energy, but it has around it a number of runes and such.
Ooh, so some kind of runes bleeding off of the energy beam.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I think one more thing on here quick. So I'm going to roll here in just one moment. I need to pull up one thing real quick. Accidentally hit paste before. All right. One of those. Oh, I see. Yeah, unless someone's doing something, Spine would go first.
Is this the new turn order?
Yep.
I will spend a leader thing to push tardigrade up by 1, just so we don't get the double Bennett actions in a row there.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm saying, tardigrade, that's the lady I saw. It's got to be Bennett. She's the big threat here. Focus on her, or something like that. So
And I'm almost
using leader to push him up the initiative list there.
I'm also tardigrade. Do you want those cool, like you just rocketed your way straight through the hallway to get there to help take some of the damage?
Yeah.
No spine.
Oh, I don't. Oh, well.
Or what?
I always forget to use the super senses. It's to move myself at the beginning of the initiative track. At the start of the round.
Oh, do you want to do that?
No, because I want to keep the two Bennett split, so we'll keep it the way it is.
Well, because he would actually be able to move himself up. If you moved yourself to the front, then Thunderclap could use that on himself or herself to move her up to in between the Bennetts.
Yeah, I'm happy if you want to say that's what we do tardigrade. I'm happy to do that.
Sure.
Actually, let me double check that I can use it on myself. Yeah, I move one hero's initiative card one space forward. That would include me.
Okay. And then tardigrade's yours take you to the front?
Yes, to the beginning of the initiative track.
Okay. And then on this one, in case it's one you end up using, I'm assuming that's what, 1 or 2 time tokens?
2.
Okay. Yeah, if you just want to go ahead and put those on there, that just means the beginning of your turn, including this one, you'll remove 1. And then you'll get to go.
All right. Okay. Yeah, seeing that Bennett is the threat, I rush forward to kind of block Spine from getting hit. I want to see like if there's any kind of like loose plating or anything, or if not, just like a box that I'm gonna use the telekinesis to grab it and smack her with it.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I
there's.
make a roll.
You can let me know what it is you grab. There's stuff kind of around.
So I want to look for like if there's any kind of, like I said, if there's any loose plating. I don't want to take off something that's preventing nuclear energy from coming out, but seeing as she had like the energy wrap around her, I want to kind of smack her with something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So you bring up you've got like a thing of supplies over on one side, which includes like some fairly heavy sheets of metal. You fling one of those.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and make your roll. It's going to be we'll go 1 advantage and then 1 disadvantage for range. Any 0 points on that?
I don't have any hero points at the moment. I don't think. I spent the one I had.
You should have 2 total.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and then you also got 1 for rescuing those people. You have 2 left because you got 1 for your super toughness, 1 for the other one, and then you got 1 for rescuing those people.
Yeah. So can I spend 1 hero point to bring it up to a 90, and I use the boost to take it to 100, or?
Yeah, that works. Which means you'll make 1 roll with just the disadvantage dice.
Okay. Make another roll?
Yeah, but only put just 1 disadvantage die. That's the only thing we care about. Is a disadvantage.
Right.
Wait, so that came up nothing, so you're fine there. You'll do 96 points of damage. As it actually smacks like off the catwalk and into the thing before, and she falls like 3 feet or so before she kind of catches herself, and then she's floating up in the air, which is not something you were aware that she could do before. It's fine.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use a portal to pop in behind her up close and blast her again.
Okay. I would say go ahead and give 1 disadvantage for the range, but 2 advantage for the surprise.
Yeah, and I'll use my second youthful energy again to add a couple dice to that. That's a 67 with 3 advantage, 3. It's like, take that, Stone Cold Jane Austen.
You want to pump that into another 30 points of damage?
Sure.
Okay, she's hurting bad right now. That puts her. Yeah, she's y'all smacked the living crap out of her. Jane Austen. There's a it comes and she once again like boom grabs onto the kind of the railing as you strike her with it's an energy blast.
Yeah, I
As you
like
popped out with the portal. Um, as it strikes her fairly hard on that one, and then I think she's next. She just turns and this energy here does not seem to be pulled from anything, and she's like, you again, such a pain in my ass.
Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah, I roll 2 more disadvantage. Well, actually, I don't use the hero points on that. And so she fires. It goes wide and just seems to splash against the thing the reactor casing without actually doing any damage to it. That gets us to Thunderclap. Or I'm sorry, the Niner Mercs as well. Niner Mercs are probably in a pretty good spot as they've been hit. To fire at you, Thunderclap. One challenge dice because they're at a distance.
Yeah, what'd they get?
Yeah, so they're laying down covering fire because right now they can't really do a whole lot on the other side. So you have taken you get hit kind of barely by it. It's more some stuff kind of the side. You'll take 11 points.
So taking me down to 89 resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Legit. Yeah. So you think I'm great only grazed if anything, but I am kind of like forced to duck for cover here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it would be yours.
All right. Then it is my turn. All right. I'm gonna use Dazzle, kind of my signature move here. Bring the hands together and send a like kind of sonic blast to temporarily daze opponents, and I'll do I mean, do I have to do it as an area attack to hit all these minions at once, or can I just hit them all, target them all, just straight up?
If you do the area attack, what it'll do is it'll take out an extra 1.
Yeah, I'll then sure I will area attack it by putting some time tokens on it.
Okay.
Cool. Then let me roll that. That's my lesser power. Advantages or disadvantages here?
This is the Dazzle.
Yeah, this is Dazzle.
Since it's a range, the 1 disadvantage would take 2 advantage because they're definitely not expecting things to suddenly start like flashing in front of them.
Sure. Okay. That's a 45 with a boon and a drawback that cancel each other out.
All right. So this right now, there's those ones get taken out. You're now down to really just there's a single one kind of further back who's got a few hostages on there, just sort of wide eyes. The ones you got like you fall to the ground, like they're not really able to see well at all right now.
All right.
Which takes us to a very angry Alicia Bennett. Alicia's been hit there. She kind of like floats up, and again she's got the power and such around her. She's an agent of chaos, so she gets some of those. Those end up canceling each other out. Yeah, he gets 2 disadvantage and 1 challenge dice to all rolls made because now she is a being of chaos. And that 70 points is going to hit you, Tardigrade, as she's coming forward and just once again this blast of energy. It seems like right now she's trying to get away because you'll have hurt her pretty badly.
Okay, do I need to? So for my super toughness, it says put 2 time tokens on it? Is that the only
Yeah,
thing?
so, yeah, you put 2 time tokens, you reduce that by 20. Okay. Then she has the thing with the question marks. She's able to do that once per action scene, where she can actually use that for a number of things. So she's got like secrets that are mine alone to know, which can be like deal a little bit of damage, get your resistance, get a couple of your resistance back. But in this case, because her resistance is literally down to 7 at this point, because y'all did kick the crap out of her with those rolls. She's instead going to use it to reflip one of her initiative cards from before, so she's going to get 2 more actions here before anybody else can go. So on one of those, she's kind of flying down towards the door. She's not. We're not get her quite into that hallway, sort of out of sort of the conflict zone yet. But the other one, I think she's going to turn and try to get a one more hit at Spine, because you did kick the crap out of her. Yeah, that actually the 80 with the advantage dice on there will hit you for 80.
And getting rid of my super toughness turns out to have consequences. Wow, so I'm hurting.
I can take. All right, so yeah, the one she's now kind of flown down towards the hallway, so she's not quite out of the room yet. Did that with kind of one of her actions, moving further down that way, and the other one is that attack. So at this point, she's still possibly here, but hurting pretty bad. And what is likely the last one? Oh shit! Y'all want to change the turn order?
I think we're good with this turn order, aren't we?
Yeah, you've still got one of them, like one of the mercs left, and he's got some the employees that he's got, like the gun at the back now because he's freaking out, and you've got Alicia Bennett, who's pretty badly hurt, and we go to Thunderclap.
Yeah, she's badly hurt, but it looks like she's just trying to make her way out of here.
Yeah, she threw a few attacks, so she's not quite gone yet, but it's one where she could get through that hallway relatively quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, oh no, you don't, Sherlock. We got some questions, and I don't think they're quite as elementary as you expect them to be. I'm gonna make it rain, or rather, make it snow. But I still do the like make it rain gesture with my ambi gloves to use weather control and just try to freeze her, right? Just put her on ice to keep her from fleeing the scene, so we can finally get some answers from her.
All right, go ahead and make your roll.
And I'm willing to put two time tokens on weather control to make this a long-lasting effect,
Okay.
where it lasts till the end of the scene. Might be overkill, but can't hurt to just try to make it stick around.
I would say go ahead and add one disadvantage for the ranged.
Any advantages?
I don't think so on this one.
All right. Okay, that's a 65 with a drawback.
Okay. Yeah, for that one, it's a little harder for you to like kind of get that before. I would say take 10 points. We use that for it, but that amount of damage. What's your percentage on that one?
Sorry, my percentage. I'm using my superpower right now because the Omni weapon is giving me weather control.
All right, so 80%. So yeah, so you're able to. Yeah, you do 65 points. It kind of hits as like there's enough there that she's like sort of freezing, and
yeah,
you manage to kind of like bop her in a big snowpack, and it's just kind of keeping her.
I was like, why don't you hang out and chill for a minute?
And she is out. You've got the couple hostages and the one merc left. Tardigrade.
Is the drawback going to be a glancing blow or surprise attack or anything?
That's the 10 points.
Oh, I took 10 points of.
Yeah, because it's a little harder in here to get that going than you originally thought.
Oh, okay. So got it. The 10 points just represent the like kind of stress and concentration of trying to channel weather control inside of this chaotic nuclear facility. I buy it.
Yep. And tardigrade.
So there's just one bad guy left. So I'm gonna just like telekinesis a piece of like rebar around him.
All right. Make a TK roll. Add we'll say two advantage, one disadvantage.
Oy. Yeah, not happening.
Okay, so like the rebar is he actually kind of managed to turn and he gets the people in front of him, and it's like the rebar actually hits with the drawback, hits the hostage he's got, and the hostage and then the hostage is not dead but is out. Spine.
I'm going to use a portal to get up close to this mercenary, and I'm making my fist crackle with electrical energy. And I know what you're thinking, punk. You're thinking, did he throw 5 power blasts or 6? And what you got to ask yourself is, do you feel lucky? Well, do you? It's like I'm performing for an audience.
I gots to know.
You don't even have like a limit on power blast you can throw, man. I don't know why you're going through this whole routine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get him to surrender.
All right. So basically it's a mental attack. Yeah, I would go ahead and make a roll. Add this would technically against the portal since you're using it to kind of get into like close enough for melee. Yeah, I would go ahead and add 2 advantage dice to that.
That's an 8 with 1 boon.
Yeah, which is just a point. He just drops the gun. I can pay it enough to get killed. All right. At this point, it's funny because if y'all hadn't had like 80s and 90s with hero points on, like she could have gotten super dangerous, but y'all just demolished her. Fantastic rolls. Yeah, you got
We're
control.
the virtuosos.
Yeah, you got control of the power plant. What do y'all do?
Untie the people.
Okay, science guys, you're up.
Yeah. I want to talk to this baddie we finally got here, right? Like I head over, kind of kick at the snowdrift around her a little bit, and I'm like, all right, what's your deal? You keep popping up, portaling around, trying to open up a gateway to a place full of entropic energy. I'm assuming that was also you, given that I don't think these guys, and I gesture towards the Niner Mercs, I don't think these guys are read up enough to know where they were pointing those portals. What's the deal, lady?
There's power you can get from the other side that is more than you can. We're gonna need it soon.
I don't know. I've got quite an imagination. Have you seen what I've done with these things? And I like to kind of blowing off each of the gauntlets.
Yeah, so the point is she's kind of looking through all 3 of you, and then like a special kind of like glare comes to Spine because you knocked the crap out of her. Why do you think The government has suddenly set you up. There's Niners all over the place.
Because we're great.
Great. It's two of you.
The military-industrial complex. They've got political power, and they're willing to use it to get like big profits.
They're also willing to use it to try to get you ready for when an alien vessel, which was spotted in the system not too long ago, crashes on Earth. Damaged. It's going to be making its way here. Whatever's following it, we're going to need power to take out.
Oh, see, it was that so hard to say? You had to hijack buildings and try to turn them into hell portals. So just say we need to tap into some power to deal with the aliens. Like, I feel like if you just came out and said that, we would have been like, yeah, let's work together.
Just sort of looks. She's like, first of all, I don't share power. Second of all, there's no way you would help.
I mean, no way we'd help with aliens landing on Earth that need to be fought because we're the virtuosos. That is like squarely in our wheelhouse, right, guys?
Oh, come on, that's science fiction. There are no aliens.
Where do you think these things came from? And I hold up the gloves again. No, newsflash: nobody on Earth invented these.
Okay. They're aliens? Cool.
Yeah, keep up, man. There's magic and aliens.
Have they told you anything about it? Have they not warned you?
The agency, they tend to be a little close-lipped.
Inspector DeMarco, he hasn't said anything about aliens.
This guy looks at Inspector DeMarco. He's a policeman. He's not going to know about this stuff. This is the agency.
Exactly my point.
I'm going to ask yourself, if there is a damaged ship heading this way and there is something chasing it, which they've been tracking now for several days, why do you think they haven't told anyone?
Because they're the Air Force, and the Air Force doesn't share information about UFOs.
Kind of looks and just wish you luck. I was going to bring myself enough power that I might be able to take them on by myself, but decided to stop that.
Yeah, I feel like that would have gone badly for you, to be honest. Like, I think we probably really did you a favor here. Look, we've got some pull with the agency at this point. They like us. We work with them. I bet we can, get you a nice cell with, library access or whatever, if you'll do a little consulting, right? Help us get prepped for this this threat you see coming, because sounds like it's the sort of thing where, all for one, right? Earth, everyone that wants to keep Earth around, kind of on the same side.
At that point, she just kind of looks around all three of you and looks at Spine and goes, Spine knows why there's no way they're going to let me live to put me in a cell.
Thunderclap looks at Spine and like raises an eyebrow, like, what is she talking about?
It's like, what are you talking about?
Spine, what happened last time they put me in a cell? You were there.
Oh, well, yeah, you kind of, all these sigils and things. That was kind of weird, but like, don't they have anti-sigil technology yet?
A lot of magic out there. By the way, then she takes a look at you as this moment, and she's like, what you did is not a Niner power.
Yeah, it's like these sparkly silver threads. You see that? You see them too?
Tapped into magic.
Yeah, it's like it's tied to all the stuff like those things up there. They got all these silver threads going into the power core. You did that on purpose, right?
Yes. As far as I was aware, magic. I haven't found any other people that used it. You, the golem, me.
Like you want to form a super team with us?
No.
That's cool because I mean I'm just getting used to these guys.
They may not be able to put you into a cell, but I think we can. So you can stew for a little bit and decide if you're willing to compromise on your whole channel all the hell dimension energy into yourself plan to work out something less stupid for dealing with the aliens. Because I want to spend a continuity token here,
Okay.
and establish that. Let me see about the different retcon issues. Establish that in Virtuosos Presents Thunderclap issue number 2, it was actually a team up issue between Thunderclap and your bud made of mud, doing something that, remember, Pearl and I kind of discussed at the end of the last session as a possibility, and I want to just set that up as happening in this team up issue that we had worked together, creating using your bud made of mud's kind of alchemical sigil knowledge to create something that could deflect sigils, right? I'm picturing basically a large kind of walking suit of armor, and like the inside of it is made of this like kind of super like dense black material that just like keeps sigils from being easily written. And so like I'm like pressing some buttons and then like clomping into the plant is this suit of armor, and I like open up the the front of it to like haul Sherlock and like put her inside of it. So we're kind of locking her up in this anti-magic suit.
Okay. Yeah, it works.
A legit use of a continuity token?
Yep, that works. John, you gonna make it?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Sorry.
So this was all like a rough sneeze earlier too. They just went to black. I'm like, oh, that looks like that was painful. Yeah, so it comes and just kind of comes like closes in around her. You will say this is the first. I mean, like they said that your technology might be alien, but there's nothing you've heard or been told before that goes with a possible alien or something on its way here.
Yeah. Thunderclap always plays things cool, right? She like acts like, oh, she knows everything already, but this is new information. Yep. She's like wondering about this damaged ship, and she's definitely going to go pouring through those files she stole from the agency later to see if they've got anything that corroborates this.
Okay. All right, so you have her now. What are you doing? Because you know that and police and probably agency are on their way shortly.
So out of character, you guys tell me if you think your characters would object to this, but my sense is maybe that we're reaching that point where we're like a little distrustful of the overall authorities, right? It seems like they're maybe keeping something from us. So it's possible we just tell them, yeah, she got away through a portal again, sucks, and then like hang on to her on our own, to just find out a little more before we reveal, before we decide if we're going to tell the agency that we got her. Does that ring true?
She has information, so I don't think we especially need to lie to the agency, but I definitely think we should say like we need to hold on to her for information reasons.
Just kind of throw our weight around a bit and be like, yeah, we're gonna hang on to her, figure out some stuff about these threats. Don't worry, we're the virtuosos. We'll handle it.
We'll turn her in when we're done.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm taking some selfies. Should just showing me standing over the defeated villain.
Okay. So, when they arrive, the police and such arrive, and you got agency coming like not long after. Up. So, yeah, agency chief is not there. However, let's create a person of the agency. Eva Richardson. So Eva Richardson comes in. Like, are you? Have you taken her already, or what have you done before the cops and others arrive?
I think we've got her like locked up in the suit, so that when if they say like, and did you get Sherlock? I like go like dunk dunk dunk. Yeah, we got her right here, but we're not quite done with her.
What do you have her in? She's asking.
Oh, just a little thing I whipped up with a golem friend of mine. This will keep her from sigil portaling her way out.
That works. This will be excellent. We'd like to talk to you about it after we have a chance to interrogate her.
Yeah, we're gonna take point here. I think she's dropping some hints about superhero wheelhouse stuff, and I think us superpowered folks are going to be the best people to do the initial pass.
I think I'm looking at two people who may be brilliant with machines, but have never come up against someone whose mind was specifically enhanced to make her a one-woman intelligence agent that was used for military intelligence during the war. I think you have a child who couldn't make it through. Did you make it through basic spine? You get drummed out while active, or
Yeah, I think I made it through basic, but not long past basic.
I think you've got a child who wasn't able to hack it. I think you are trying to play a battle of wits with someone whose mind is specifically enhanced. I think you are going to lose. Agency is much better able to take care of this and should have jurisdiction. The Niner committed crimes against the government. You have been given certain powers, but this is not one of them.
Anybody want to spend a continuity token and like establish that she's committed some kind of a crime against that country whose princess is the leader? Because I feel like that's the like only like jurisdictional claim we're going to be able to make here, right?
The other thing you could do, that's awesome though. The other possibility would be to make the roll again, basically like make one of your convince or one of those other things. But yeah, that definitely would work.
Sure, I'll do that. I'll spend the continuity token to say, we have jurisdiction by international cooperation with, I don't know, Moldova.
Okay. Go ahead and let's see. Probably to see what'll happen because like the continuity token will make it happen, but I kind of want to do this for your analyzed data. Make a roll for that. Go ahead and add 3 advantage dice to it.
Mm-hmm. And any disadvantage?
No disadvantage.
If I'm reading it correctly from in Yafana Tech Dance's character profile, it says her turmoil is about the immigrant society from Aslerfan and the royal duties thereof. Don't remember if that's the name of the country or the city, but I think that's
the country.
Yeah, so if we set up a issue in the past involving Sherlock violating the sovereignty of this nation, then maybe we can make an argument that the Virtuosos via Tech Dance have jurisdiction to try her for that crime.
So I got a 35 with 2 boons, or 25 with 2 boons.
Okay. So with that one, what I'm going to have it do is what that will mean. I'm going to make this note in the thing. This is pretty ironclad. Like the thing that you've got here is something that she's actually not.
Sorry.
Oh, this is a pretty ironclad thing that you've got because the jurisdiction. Bennett, and you said she committed crimes against. How do you spell? Do you spell that up? How do you spell the name?
Yeah, let's see. So I'm in Tectance's character profile here. Aslerfan, Aslerfan.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think we can also say that with that one, I think we can also say that the Virtuoso Veranda, I think, kind of makes some sense if it actually counts as sovereign.
Technically an embassy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that case, there's really nothing she can do about it. And she just sort of glares at you. She's like, "We will be speaking about this in the future. We will also need to talk with her soon. I'm going to talk to the higher ups. Expected visit."
All right, we'll schedule you into her date book.
Yeah. And she just kind of turns on her heel and then walks out. And as she's leaving, she just turns and goes, "For your sake, she better not escape."
Yeah, we got this.
Yeah. Turns on her heel, walks out. They managed to get the other people. The ambulances are there, making sure that the hostages are okay. The mercs are all taken into custody. And y'all head back to the Virtuoso Veranda. So, quick question for you here. I know technically there's about an hour left. I know I'm dragging a bit from the conference I've been at the last few days. This kind of also feels like a good place to sort of do like a quick epilogue and then leave it on a cliffhanger.
Works for me if it works for other folks.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. All right. So, anything you're doing when you get back to the veranda? Anything in particular you wanted to do before?
I'm diving into that data that I harvested, right?
Mhm.
Like I do want to know a little what is the agency up to, and does it know anything about the origin of my gloves, this alien ship on its way? What's it got going on?
Okay. Like I
Should I
say,
make
you're looking at that spine. Are you doing anything in particular?
Yeah, I mean, I think I go back to police headquarters to check in with Inspector DeMarco, and I'm showing off my new portal powers to him. It's like, look, isn't this cool? It's like I'm popping around the police station, and it's like I do this portal where DeMarco steps through the portal and he's standing on the ceiling. I haven't realized that gravity, it doesn't quite reverse gravity, so he starts to fall, and I catch him, and it's like, yeah, I need to get the hang of that.
He's like, this has never happened before. How'd you get a new power?
Well, this thing that Bennett was doing, there are these sparkly silver threads. She said it was she said it was magic. It was like tied into the electricity somehow.
Now you're saying magic is real.
Well, I mean, that's what she called it. I mean, it's this silver thread stuff. I mean, it's just like it's like some other form of energy. It's like electricity, only sparkly and silver.
I magic? No. I don't know what Bennett did, but next thing you're gonna say there's aliens or something.
Yeah. Where do you think those gloves come from?
And about this point, there is a large commotion in the room as everyone starts running towards one of the windows. And thunderclap. We'll come back to that in just a second.
Yeah, I'm probably in like whatever in my lab at the veranda, and like I'm sitting on one of those seats that's just like a big rubber ball that you kind of like bounce on a little bit, and kind of spinning around, and pulling up holographic screens all around me. So I've kind of like made a little nest with me at the center of it, and everywhere is like displays of the data about different superhumans that I pulled from the agency.
Yeah, one of the things you start seeing is as you're going through, there is a sort of a tendency to respond percentage put, or basically like a level from like 1 to 10 put on there for just about everybody. Like for all the virtuosos, it's 10 across the board. Muster ups have got about an 8.
Tendency to respond to what?
It literally just says tendency to respond, and there's a list of both like virtuosos and the muster ups, and there's others sort of on a list. And as you're kind of cross checking, you do see, like, you do manage to find some files that, as you're looking through them, they reference an alien landing that had happened in Russia towards the beginning of the 20th century.
A landing in Russia?
And then there's also, as you're also going through, you catch some stuff about ships headed towards Earth. And
yeah, that tracks with what Bennett was saying.
this will be about the moment when you'll see what Spine's about to see. And tardigrade, I don't know, John, if you're back with us. John looks like he's having a rough time today. Not feeling well. Yeah, we'll see when he comes back what he was doing. You'll get an alert probably through the systems about the same, to see what Spine does. As you look up, yeah, so tardigrade, well, they're like Thunderclap's looking into the files and such you got. Spine is at the police station talking with DeCastro. Are you doing anything in particular? Oh, you're muted.
I'm gonna try and look through all the information we have from like various satellites and things to see if there's any validity to the alien invasion story.
Yeah, one of the things, as you're looking through, you're going to find out some of the stuff that Thunderclap had discovered, where there's some stuff about an alien landing. At some point, you'll find a little more about that probably when you talk to him. But one thing you are finding as you're looking through the information through the satellites, there has been a large military movement. And as you're sort of like tracking all these various things, there's been kind of a large military movement that's been done fairly quietly. And as you check it through other channels and such you've got available, a lot of military hardware and like some heavy equipment and other things are being moved to the San Francisco area. Like a weird amount. And by this point, you'll get the same alert that the others do, though. Spine, you're in a good place to come up and see it. These ships, there's suddenly this just bolt of energy, like a laser, strikes the street from up above, and then as you look up, you see there's 2 ships coming down, one of which is firing on the other one. These things you look up are the first alien designs you've seen. The one in front that looks damaged has a I think we determined your gloves are alien, right, Thunderclap?
Yeah.
The aesthetic design is similar on the one in front to Thunderclap's Thunderclap's gloves. It's probably not a bad place to leave it for now.
It's a good cliffhanger.
Okay. Everyone, go ahead and give yourself 1 more XP for under the story reward for the session.
That'll give me a story reward.
Cool. And those start on page 24 of the book. There's general rewards. You can do revamps. There's some setting stuff that you can get. Retirement, if your character is getting close to retirement.
Nice. I'll take a look at that.
Cool. Well, I had fun, folks. I'm still shocked that you all rolled like those hundreds and 80s and stuff that you managed to just knock Alicia with. Just kick the crap out of her. I thought that was going to be a tougher battle.
We're the virtuosos. What can we say?
Um,
I think I'm taking the extra hero point story reward.
okay.
Just because my particular build gives me a lot per hero point, right? Where I'm frequently spending hero points to like activate new powers as inventions. So the extra hero point will definitely be fun to play around with. So I would take that as a reward.
Excellent. You just want to make a note of that.
Yeah.
And I think we've got a whole different group next time. So in the future, like, there's especially like stars or wishes you've got for your characters if you come back in. Um, let me know, and that's something I can make notes for, and we can start throwing in.
I mean, stars to everyone all around, because this was a fun little session. Fun seeing the characters bounce off of each other. This time it was genuinely a mistake that I said the wrong name for the armored guy, but I like it because it works as a running gag from the last issue when I called Magnetar Tardigrade. That I just did the reverse this time. Is great. And star to Spine for being such a character, turning up in his weirdo robes and being like, yeah, I fit in with these celebrity superheroes. This tracks. And we like mostly believed you because you had so much self-confidence going in. And stars to us all for beating Sherlock Bennett in record time. And wishes are, I just I'm excited to continue seeing the turmoil and aspiration unfold, right? Certainly with aliens turning up, it seems plausible that Thunderclap will get a chance to usefully punch through the walls between dimensions.
Yeah.
And also, the turmoil, right? Figuring out if there's something shady going on at the agency. I like that, it's kind of a trail of breadcrumbs to follow, but then going up to the next level there, if we do see Thunderclap again, would be exciting. But a great session and great little series overall. Excited about the way this Spectacular's world is unfolding and the place the Virtuosos foot get to fulfill within it.
Yeah, I love Tardigrade's. I love Tardigrade's like the TED talker. Just be a fun character to see, just trying to do more stuff socially with regular people. It's just not working so well for the character.
Yeah. I give stars to Thunderclap for doing so much this game. I'm sorry I was flagging a bit, especially towards the end. So thank you to Thunderclap and Spine for keeping things moving and making it a fun session. Big stars for both of you. And wishes. I would like to play more. I wish I would have got to play like last week, but and this week I wish I had better experience. But that's nothing on your game. It's all on me being junk right now.
Certain kinds of sickness just kick your mind square in the butt.
I think it's the cold medicine I took. Like normally I'm not affected too bad. At this time it just laid me out.
I had to call in sick work to once with like half an hour to go, which as a teacher is a bad thing. But I took NyQuil instead of DayQuil on accident because I wasn't paying attention. And I'm like, yeah, teaching high school students on NyQuil is not gonna go. Oh.
Stars for me to Tardigrade, who was just a lot of I really loved that PR stuff he was doing. That was just so much. That was just so much fun, and yeah, it was fun to come. Starts to how you played DeMarco. He's such a fun foil for Spine, and I really enjoyed coming into this new team and just rolling with it. So I've got one session again next month. It looks like it's going to be all new people that I haven't played with before, I think. So I'm looking forward to doing that again and just meeting new people and being the clueless, confident, well-meaning. He's just such a fun character.
Yeah, like how they interacts with on a different level within most of the other ones. It's like, yep, everyone else is an adult. Spine, not as much. I guess with that, if there's nothing else, I had a lot of fun, y'all. Hope to catch y'all again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna rest from a conference. Hope you're feeling better, John.
Have a good one. Yep.
Good playing, everybody. Good game. Have a
Yes,
good one.
thank